Hey guys, we have war number 1 of season 46 here. We're going to be bringing Bishop, Void, and Venom. First fight up here is a new tactic defender, but Baron Zemo is not really that big of a problem, especially not on this node. So this is going to be a very important fight though, because I need to get 2 bars of power so that I can bank it for the boss fight, which is a bullseye. So here I'm going to tap away a little bit. Here I have enough prowess. I'm pretty sure that special 2 will kill, which it does. And took a little bit of damage, so I have to throw a potion in for the boss fight probably, but that will be the only fight other than the boss where I'm going to use Bishop for, just because I have a good amount of power and I don't want to end up with either too much or too little power when going into the boss fight. So next up, we're going to use Void. I don't really have any real reason why I used Void over Venom here. He's bleed immune, but Venom probably would have been quicker. Forgot to put Do Not Disturb on, so kept getting work texts. But overall, it's going to be more or less straightforward with Void, slow play. I did just dupe my Void a couple of days ago, and I did bring him up to rank 2 after I duped him, and I never did end up upgrading my 6-star Void past rank 4. He's good, I just don't use him very often and didn't really have a real reason to rank him up. But now that I got a 7-star, he'll be good for the future. More SIGs will be nice, as SIG 20 is a little underwhelming, but more or less straightforward fight. His special 1s and his special 2s aren't that big of an issue, both easy to evade, but get out of there with full yellow bar, so I'm not going to complain. Next up, we have a Path 7 on this in section 2 as well, or Path 9, 8. I knew I'd get it somewhere. Path 8 in section 2. Just like the last 4 seasons, I believe. We're up against XMNN. Yeah, XMNN this war. And it's not over yet. We're in the lead by like 1 death right now. But it's probably not going to stay that way. But next up we have a Vox. And I didn't actually realize Vox is Nullify immune. Unless it's just this node that makes him Nullify immune. Whatever it is. I figured I'd take a little bit of chip damage and heal it back with my special 1. That did not happen there. So, but I had to eat a special 1 before the game was over anyways. So, get through there. Next up, we have a rank 3 Mysterio. This isn't a very good placement for him, as it is rich get richer, and so there's no real reason to have Mysterio here. And he had suicides on, which didn't help him much at all. Didn't bother healing. Mysterio with Venom is just fun, straight up fun, and with suicides it's just going to be that much quicker. Although, if I'm being honest, the suicides didn't really make this that much quicker because he didn't have a chance to throw a special attack. It was over in 15 seconds. So, Venom just kind of lays the hammer down. Next up, we're going to be taking this thing on the aggression regen node. Going to be using Void for that. Super straightforward fight. Not anything to worry about. So, Void is actually... This is the first time I've used Void in War ever. And I did end up using him for 4 of the fights, I believe. 4 of my 9 fights. So, getting some use out of him. It would be very nice if I could get some SIGs on him. But it's not that big of a deal. Pretty straightforward fight, like I said, here against Thing. Basically, I just want to get him up to 13 rock stacks and then throw my special 1. And I don't know why I didn't throw it there. I think I chickened out a little bit, not paying attention to where his rock stacks were at. But I'll throw it here, I'm sure. Yeah. And getting a little unlucky on the petrifies, but those regens aren't staying on him near as much as they did last season with the tactic where he went ahead and stayed close to you all the time because you were rooted during all your special attacks. I'm not sure what this node looks like in Tier 2 yet. Tier 3, I don't like it at all, but it's manageable. Kabam kind of is just dropping the ball with these new nodes. They aren't making them fun or interactive. They're making them just kind of retarded. But I got clipped there a little bit. Not that big of a deal. My next fight will be a willpower fight, so I should be able to heal all that damage I took back up. Keep myself from using any unnecessary potions, and that fight is over. Next up, we are jumping over to the one where you trigger a buff, and when you use the buff, then you lose power, and it's going to be a Dragon Man. So I'm going to just block a special one, get the debuff on me, and hopefully heal back up to full, because I'm not very confident in this next fight that I have, which is going to be a Nick Fury on Hazard Shift, who I am going to be using Void for. But this Dragon Man I am very confident in, and he was actually running Suicides too, which I think was less good for me than anything else, because I didn't have quite as much time to heal, especially since he didn't throw a special one there. I did just parry him to make sure he didn't gain his Fury off that special too. And I do throw my special one. I do kind of want to manage his power, just because he can get a little bit sketchy sometimes with not throwing special attacks like any champ that has power gain buffs. But there we go, I got my willpower heal going, and I might need to get one more of those debuffs on me before the end of the fight, just to finish capping up. But here we are, he doesn't have any power anymore with the 2 petrifies up on him. And I don't really want to get the second debuff on me yet, because I don't want to double him up and have his despair reducing my healing. But see, the other one's about to fall off, so I did end up blocking that hit. He's about dead, and I'm about full health, so I'll just back off here and well, he killed himself with Suicides, but next up is this Nick Fury on Hazard Shift, and the more debuffs on me, the less my ability accuracy is, so I'm going to try my very best to not get any of the debuffs on me. So it's going to be a lot of slow playing, a lot of hitting into his block. I accidentally clicked on Venom there. If I had went into that fight with Venom, it would have been quite tragic. But here we go with Void. I didn't end up throwing a potion in him, just because I am confident enough that the 3% health that I was missing won't make a difference in this fight. If I die, it's going to be because I get hit by a light attack, and his bleed will just destroy me. So I'm going to parry as much as I can just to get his tactical charges down, and to get that extra debuff for a little bit more damage. There, he's getting close to 15 tactical charges, so I'm just going to parry and slow play it. I don't want to get backed up too far into the corner, but it might be kind of hard to avoid with not hitting him when the shock phase is up. So we'll see how it goes. Shock phase is about to go, so didn't get backed up there. I did hit him once, but I got a little bit lucky and didn't get the shock on me. Did throw the special 2 there because, well, there's not really any point in throwing a bunch more special ones since all my debuffs are pretty much up. But here I'll just parry a bunch more, wait for that shock phase to end. I'd like it if he died before the shock phase ends, that way I can hit him a lot at the beginning of his second life, but I did not get so lucky there. So he goes into his second phase, and he's still not below 1%. He finally dropped down into his second life, and he's about to come out of the incinerate phase. So as to give him a quick little tap there, he did have the shock phase on, but one shock on me wouldn't drain me too much, and at this point I'm starting to feel a lot more confident in this fight. Incinerate came back up, so I'll throw that special too. He's down almost all the way. He is unblockable now, so I just need to not get clipped like Nick Fury always manages to clip me somehow. I'm going to hit him a few extra times there just to get him out of his unblockable. and I got lucky once again without getting a shock on me. But I need to make sure also to not lose all of my prowess so that he doesn't go into indestructible and kind of ruin the fight for me. That fight went very well. I was very happy with that. The rest of these fights, or this next fight, I can't so much say the same. It's a rank 1 Massacre, and I figured with Venom, if I got offensive buffs, triggered my 3rd buff, he'd be dead before he triggered his 1st indestructible, and it didn't go quite according to plan. I got 1 offensive buff, and didn't barely crit on that first combo, got 1 crit on my 2nd combo, 1 crit there, and then he's indestructible, so I have to parry him. Since I'm not tactic, I can't build prowess. He's gaining a lot more power and a lot more damage every single second he passes a bar of power. I accidentally pushed him to a special 2 there. My eyes are not good enough to be able to see that second hit of it, so I just kind of dexed when I felt like it might be there. It was not there, and I ate that to the face. Next, I wanted to see if I could kill him before he's indestructible, and I did not. So same story here, except I accidentally blocked it because I tried to wait longer than last time. And luckily that didn't kill me, but I am not very healthy at this point. I throw my special 1, hoping for crits, don't get any. I go for it, and he goes indestructible. He goes red. I turtle up, and I get a reparry, and he died. I should have died there. That fight was completely sketchy. But next up is a Domino, rank 3 on the one where they shrug off debuffs. And I want to use Venom for this, so I'm going to pop all those potions into him. And there, this fight, I got very lucky again, and that is just because he's running suicides. But I had already fought one of this guy's defenders earlier and saw he was running suicides, so I knew I should be fine. Just need to make sure not to try and dex one of those special ones when I'm unlucky, and at this rate, I'm losing more health than she is, and I'm a little bit worried. But got a parry there. I need to hopefully eat some of his prowess, or her prowess, so that I can get my health back a little bit, and I'll just let her kill herself with suicides. But I threw special 1 with unlucky active. Luckily, I did still end up eating one of the debuffs, and the health fight's starting to look a little bit better for me. I know I can't count on any parries because she'll both crit fail me, and she will shrug them off anyways, so I can't really count on any parries. With Venom, he has a long reach light attack, so I can normally dodge back on her double medium and light attack, but every now and then it misses, and she can instantly counter, and I die. So there's not going to be much of that happening in War. I'll do that in Battlegrounds if I have to have a really quick fight, but for the most part, I'm going to keep that out of my War. Right here, she throws that. I just have a couple of things left a couple of hits left. 1 more special 1, and she'll be dead, so I know I can just block it. I don't have to parry it. I don't have to do anything. I did dex it for some reason. I'm not going to be using Venom for the boss fight. I should have just blocked it. Any chance that I get hit there is not a good one. So next up, we're going to throw on the mutant boosts and use Bishop here against Bullseye. It's a rank 2 Bullseye. Not as bad as a rank 3, I suppose. I am very boosted at this point, which is a good thing because I would have died with Venom against that rank 1 Massacre earlier if I wasn't. But I threw a little potion into Bishop, and I hadn't tried Bishop in the off season at all, and all I could hope was that this went exactly how I wanted it to, which was special 2, pushed me almost back to another special 2, and then he's running suicides, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be an easy fight. He's killing himself most of the way with suicides. It didn't give me as much power as I'd hoped, but at this point he's already half dead, 3/4 of the way dead, and I have all my prowess. I'm almost at another special 2. I'll block that special 1. It does a decent amount of damage, but not enough. I'm pretty sure I could have got the solo even without him running suicides here. So I'll throw that special 2. It doesn't matter if the first hit doesn't hit because he was down to 10% health already. And that will conclude the first war of the season. Did not die. Good start to the season. Right now the deaths are like 46 or 56 to 54, but I'll update in the comments. Thanks, guys.